The very first time I heard that, I was about 5 or 6 years old, and my father said to me, he said, ideas, he said, they come to us. Yeah, they come from this etheric field that surrounds us. But when I was young, he didn't know how to access that. He said the genius for Einstein, the genius for Mozart, Da Vinci, they all got their ideas coming to them. And I was brought up feeling very stupid. I was an average student who never had any self-confidence. So this concept of getting ideas from a greater intelligence was really appealing to me. But, you know, they never understood, my father and parents never understood how to access this so-called intelligence. And, you know, it really wasn't until I was about 16 or 17 where, you know, I started to notice certain experiences. You know, one experience would be a very common experience where, you know, you walk into a sports stadium, you know, and you can feel the energy. Yeah, you've all noticed that? You can feel. You walk into a house and you can feel whether there's been an argument. And I started to kind of to ponder as like, why are these experiences possible? Why is it that I can think of somebody and in 5 minutes they call me? And why? And this is a very common experience, but no one was ever talking about it. Everyone has had the experience, but no one, you don't hear anyone talking about it on the news or National Geographic or at school. No one's ever saying, oh, that experience you're having when you think of somebody, that's because you're connected. That's because there's something really powerful and scientific going on. And I kept having these experiences. And then it wasn't until I was about 20 where I went to see this, it was like a healer, a spiritual healer. And it was really funny. I was at college, university, and she put her hands on my head. Felt very relaxed, very calm. And she just started talking to me. And everything she was saying were my thoughts. They were straight out of my head. And it wasn't like a horoscope, it wasn't general, like, you know, you're going through a rough time in life, you know, stab in the dark and you've got relationship problems.
It was like precognition.
Yeah, it was right on. And it was word for word, exactly, mosquito, was it?
It's the first time that happened to me because I moved here.
What?
In this field.
Oh, really? Well, if they're annoying, we'll go inside. And it was amazing because she was saying everything that was going on in my life to the absolute nth degree. But what was more amazing to me was she was using the words the way I word them to myself. So the way I phrase things, the way I put sentences together, she was actually using that. And that was the first experience I had where the concept that my thoughts were private, they were shattered. You know, we all grow up thinking our thoughts, whatever's going on in our head, is private. Who believes that your thoughts are private? Ruben, do you have that belief up until what I just said 5 seconds ago?
No, my thoughts.
Yeah, your thoughts are private. Yeah, well, little do you know. Little do you know. Yeah, well, that was a really powerful experience for me because all of a sudden what my father was saying about this universal intelligence and ideas floating around, and then she was there with her hands on my head picking up my exact thoughts, that whole paradigm just got smashed. And in that moment of this paradigm being smashed, well, that set me off on an incredible journey. And about 15 years later, you know, I get coming complete full circle from what my father said to now, we've actually mastered teaching how to tap in to that greater intelligence. So this is why we've come to the USA as well. That's why we've come to this planet, I should say. It's our sole purpose. So we've been on this incredible journey understanding things about the mind, things about being human that we were never taught at school. That isn't part of the mainstream. And during our discoveries, we've learned, and I'll share some of the big breakthroughs that we've discovered. We've learned that the consciousness that exists inside of ourselves actually exists all around us. So we think our thoughts are just stuck inside our head, but our brain, this consciousness, we're beaming our thoughts and our ideas and our feelings and our emotions rippling across this field of consciousness. It's like this sea. It's like we're part of a sea of intelligence, a sea of electricity. And when we think of someone, when we think of them with emotions, they can feel that. It ripples across this field, which we call universal intelligence. Or if you're in
What about negative emotions?
yeah, absolutely. That
I
too.
want to know about that. How do you get rid of those?
All right, we can talk about that as well, because that's all part of it. So not only feeling people's positive intentions,